Okay, for your cylinder, you are going to check off 2 cylinders that are 6 inches tall each. So when I get it to the height, I want my rim to be level. If I've centered and done things correctly as I went, it should be level, like this, and not too thin, it's even. Trimming the rim, there are a couple ways you can do it. I like to use a needle tool, and I do this at about 3 o'clock. I pinch, not pinch, but I'm holding the clay on either side right at the rim, and I have to go at the lowest point, so if it's got a higher part, I want to hold it so my fingers are never losing contact with the clay the whole time it goes around. I do slow down a little bit more, so I go pretty slow for this. I'm going to brace my hands together and hold my needle tool like a pencil. I'm going to gradually push this in until it goes all the way through, and then it touches my finger of my left hand, my index finger that's on the inside, and then I'll hold it still till it goes around at least once, and then lift it up. Okay, that has to be below the lowest point, so it will mess you up if you do that and it hits a part where there's no clay and then it goes back into the clay. So make sure it's below the lowest part so it is cutting through clay the whole time around. Then to smooth that back out, I would probably just use my sponge, but you could use just your fingertips. But anytime you cut clay, you have that really rough edge. You always want to make sure you smooth that back out again. Now let me show you the wire tool way. Wrap your wire tool very, very tight so you've got a short little strand of it there. And then you're gonna, at 3 o'clock again, anything you use tools for, you're pretty much always doing them at 3 o'clock. And I'm just gonna lower it in, making sure my hands don't hit this anywhere. Lower it down to the point I want it, hold it there till it rotates around at least once, and then lift it up.
Good. I wonder if the fishing line is not,
oh, there we go, it worked. I wasn't holding it still enough. There you go, so that can work too. Okay, and then you can smooth out the rim again. Make sure the bottom on the inside is smooth, no water puddles down there. How you are going to, okay, let's say you had a little flare at the bottom. I tried to make that flare out a little bit. And you want to cut it off, trim it off with a tool, or if you want to do a little bit of an undercut on your pot, which a lot of potters do for various reasons, you can use your wooden knife. Oh, I hope you can see this. You want to hold it at about 3 o'clock. You press this down into the side of the clay, and you keep going until it gets all the way to the wheel head. So you can hear it hitting the wheel head. And then turn it over and go underneath. And then stop your wheel, cut that. So that's another way to trim at the bottom. Okay, so this is called collaring, like a shirt collar, collaring, the verb in wheel throwing. It's basically wrapping around the clay and squeezing in. And you hold it still, so you don't move up or down when you do this. You're just, again, holding still, squeezing in, and that will make the clay go up, but it makes it go narrower again. So I would do that if I was pulling up and say I got too wide, like I accidentally was going out wider than I wanted to. I could collar. Once your clay gets to a certain thinness, you can't bring it back in, or else it'll start to fold over on itself. So there is kind of a point at which you can't collar anymore, but as you're pulling, if you find you do a pull and it's getting wide like a bowl, then after each pull, collar again so it stays more like a volcano. That will help you keep them straight walls. Okay, I want to cut this in half. This is why I'm not changing the shape, because I want to show you what your 6-inch cylinder would look like cut in half. So you'll take your wire tool and go underneath to halfway, and then you pull it straight up, and then tilt that back. So we're looking for, and this could have been a little better, but I'm still learning too. This should be flat here, and then the walls should be 1/4 inch-ish. But if they are thicker, they would be thicker to thinner. So they shouldn't be like thinner, thicker, thinner. Okay, so that's basically what you're going for.